I have another message for my nieces, and black women in America, my black queens. So, when it comes to your career and what it is you want to do in life, you should always try and talk to someone older than you that's been doing it for a long time. Especially in this day and age, and in this era, this information era, and this technology era. Even if it's not someone you personally know, it can be someone on YouTube, someone on the internet who has like instructions or advice and directions on how they do what they do, and you'd be surprised at how much you'll learn. You'd be surprised at how much you'll learn and how much knowledge and wisdom you will gain simply from listening to them. Listening to them literally give you the step-by-step on how they became who they are and how they did what they did. And it can be anything it is you want to do, and I say this to say, like, if you can, and I know y'all want to be wives one day, I know you guys want to be mothers one day. I guess I say all that to say is, when you focus on your career path and you focus it on your passion and what it is that you love to do and want to do, someone on your level and someone in your same thought process and mindset, and they're going to be aligned with how you're thinking. It's like you'll naturally, like, God will place someone in your life naturally, like it'll naturally come. So it's not something that you're going to have to look for. It's not something you're going to have to search for and seek out and impatiently make a decision about so soon and so early in your lives, because you literally have your whole life to meet someone and to find someone. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want you to be rushed by the internet and society and mainstream media, and what, like I said, what your peers are doing and what your friends are doing. I don't want you guys to feel like that's how y'all's life have to go to, and how y'all's life has to turn out as well. It's like you're free to make your own decisions. You're free to make your own way, but don't get so lost in that. Don't get so lost in becoming independent that you completely close yourself off from companionship, love. Don't feel like you have to completely become so independent that you don't know what it's like to give love back or receive love. And once you do find that career, whatever it is you do want to do, whatever it is you do want to get into and make a career out of, and spend your life doing, don't get caught up. Don't get so caught up in your career that you're putting your career before you. You know, like don't put your career before you and your life. And because you can have 10, 20 degrees and have a boss job and be so independent to the point you're doing everything for yourself, and that's completely fine. But it's like 10, 15, 20, 25 years from now, you're not going to want to be doing everything yourself. And right now, like, you may not agree right now, you may not think that right now, but in the future, 20, 25 years from now, you're going to want to eventually, settle down, find someone, love someone, have someone love you, and at the same time be able to receive that love, and able to receive that connection and that genuine sincerity coming from a man or whoever. It's like you want to be able to open to receive it, though, and you don't want to be so programmed like a robot into your career that your career is your relationship. It's like you don't want to get into a relationship with your career and have your career taking over your life, because then it's going to push everything else away, and before you know it, you're just going to be older and let me tell you something, money can't buy happiness. Like, it doesn't matter how much money you make. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter how much money you make. It don't matter how much material things you obtain. It don't matter how much it's like that stuff's not going to matter. There's going to come a day where that stuff's not even going to matter, man. You know how many, like, I'm not trying to be funny and I'm not trying to judge no one, but it's like there's literally women out here, middle-aged women, 45 and up or so, with money, that are lonely, and they would probably give it up in a drop of a dime for the right relationship and the right connection. I'm trying to watch these crazy people on this road, man. Yeah, stay out the way. On the phone. You see? And that's why there be so many accidents out here on the road. On the phone. Like, I'm not on the phone right now. But anyway, there's women out here with money, older women, that will give it up in a heartbeat for the right kind of love and the right kind of companionship, And like I said, I'm not saying that to judge anyone or to look down on anyone or condemn anyone, nothing. But I want my nieces and other young black girls out there to take that into consideration now, while you're starting your life, while you're beginning your life, while you're learning yourself, and you're thinking about your future and what it is you want. And please look, okay, as many accolades as I gave those female artists, those women artists in the last video, in part 1, it's like as talented as they are, and as brilliant and as beautiful as they are, okay? Because a couple of them are, okay? But it's like the things they talk about, I don't want that to mess y'all's heads up. Because I don't want that to mess y'all's heads up, because it's going to lead you down a path, and it's going to brainwash you, and it's going to manipulate you, and it's going to program your mind to have you to lead you somewhere that you're not going to want to be. And you're definitely not going to find the man of your dreams, or an ideal man, a man worth anything, or a man that is in his right mind with his head on his shoulders and something going for himself, you're not going to find a man like that following what these women artists are rapping about and talking about. Okay? They're rich, they have money, they're talking about this stuff and then going back home to their mansions, and I don't know what kind of relationships statuses they have, but I can imagine that I feel like being with someone who can say those things and have those things in their mind and then speak about those things and rap about those things, it's got to be scary to an extent. It's got to be scary to an extent. And I feel like the only way you can be with someone like that is if you're in the same mindset as them and you're in the same, you know what I'm saying? But I don't feel like someone who has like a enlightened mind and a progressive mind and a visionary mind and a motivated mind and a cautious mind, I don't think someone like that can be with someone who recklessly talks about sucking dick and sleeping with a bunch of dudes and setting dudes up and robbing dudes and lying to dudes. It's like, I don't think someone who wants to represent more for themselves would want to be with someone like that in that mindset, who talks about that kind of stuff, who preaches that kind of stuff, who, you know. So with that being said, it's like, you know, I don't want that to mess your heads up. I don't want what you hear in these songs from these women artists, and they have so much influence and so much impact, and that's why I'm speaking on it, because they're impacting and they're influencing so many other young black girls, especially out there, that already don't have the guidance, already don't have the structure, already don't have the leadership, already don't have the love, the care, the attention. You know, they already don't have these things, so they turn to the artists and they listen to their music, and they're actually becoming influenced and programmed by it, yo, and then going out here and doing it. These young girls are actually trying to count how many bodies they got. It's like, it's a thing. It's like a thing now. Like, they're actually taking pride in how many guys they're sleeping with, and it's like, yo, that's crazy, because my nieces are in this age bracket, and I don't want y'all to think that this is okay or that this is acceptable or it's like, look, like I said, I'm not trying to judge nobody, but it's like, there's just a certain way you should conduct yourself in this world, especially as a young black woman. There's just a certain way you should conduct yourself as such, you know, like, you're coming from royalty, you're coming from queens and kings. Like, you should be able to portray yourself and look, man, like, I'm not trying to tell y'all should be anything or do anything. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it's like, at the same time, it's like, if you want a man to perceive you and view you a certain way and respect you a certain way, the only right type of man that you're gonna attract with those morals and those values is one of how you conduct yourself. However you are out here acting, and however you are out here handling yourself, managing that pussy, conducting yourself, however you're doing that is how you are going to is what you're going to attract to yourself. These young girls and these girls out here that be going out here with the little tight ass shorts on and the see-through stuff and stuff just exposing so much skin. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what kind of guys you think you're gonna attract like that? You know what I'm saying? What kind of attention you think you're gonna get like that? And like I said, once again, I'm not trying to tell y'all what to wear and what not to wear. I'm not trying to control what y'all do and what y'all don't do. It's like, y'all have the freedom to do whatever. But at the same time, it's only our black women that are being viewed as freaks. It's only our black women that's being viewed as women that sleep around and get around. It's only our black women that's portrayed as strippers and hoes. It's only our black women being called bitches. It's only our black women being called this and that. You get what I'm saying? It's only our black women that are being exploited in every way for their bodies and their skin since day one. since jump, since invasion. You know, when the white men came on them ships to them shores, man, and they came down from Europe, and they came down, and they arrived on those shores. And when they got around, see, they didn't see the black women right away. It was the black men they came in encounter with first, of course, And when they got back to our villages and back to our kingdoms and and they saw our women for the first time, it's like they lost their natural mind. Okay? They lost their natural mind. They couldn't believe what they were seeing. They couldn't believe. The same thing happened with Christopher Columbus' goofy ass. Okay? They have you believing and brainwashed that Christopher Columbus discovered America, and this mofo, when this mofo got eyes on those Caribbean native women and those native indigenous native women in North and South America, he lost his natural fucking mind. And if it wasn't for the priest that was traveling with him, there was a priest traveling with him, and he was keeping a journal. He was keeping a journal of the journey, of the exploration. And he wrote in his journal that Christopher Columbus was literally raping a different native girl every fucking day. So it's like y'all have already been viewed and perceived a certain way, in a lustful sexual fantasy way, and because of that, y'all feel like y'all have to be. It's like y'all feel like y'all can only be one certain way to be accepted in this society as black women. So many black women are uncomfortable going natural and being natural and staying natural for whatever reason. But that's a brainwashing that's also been implemented in so many of our black women's minds, that they have to have a weave and a different colored hair to be accepted by your white jobs and your white corporations and your white businesses and your white companies. They feel like they have to look a certain way and have a certain texture of hair to be even acknowledged or recognized as a woman that is capable and intellectual enough to be accepted in mainstream society. And this has been something that has plagued and consumed our women. If you knew how much money our black women are spending on weave and beauty supplies, it'll break your heart, and it'll make you wonder why more black women don't have more beauty shops. You know what I'm saying? Our black women are going to the Koreans and going to the Indians to buy their stuff. They're buying you know what I'm saying? They're buying weaves from other races of people. So it's like something like something as major as hair. It's like, that's another topic. But something as major as hair, and how much money that gets spent into it, but there's no ownership anywhere. And this is why, especially my nieces, y'all are sisters. It's like, y'all are all sisters. And this is why black women need to start coming together and unifying and uniting, because there's so much that y'all would take the fucking world over. Y'all would literally take the world over, y'all. And trust me, I'm only saying that because I have an older sister that I really believe could freaking lead our nation and shit, okay? She should have been in the Woman King movie. And it's like I just cannot believe the magnitude and the level of brilliance and intelligence and endurance and resilience sometimes that I see from the women in my own family. And I just be thinking to myself, like, yo, if black women were in charge of certain shit, like and not just any old black woman, I'm talking about some like my real thorough to the bone, sincere, knowledgeable, educated sisters, yo. If y'all was in charge of some shit out here, yo, there'd be a lot of shit. There'd be a lot of people would have to look out, yo. A lot of people would have to look out, and a lot of nations would have to look out. And if black women in America and black women in Africa somehow, some way came together, like I said, with this hair thing, it's like that would be a perfect thing. Yo, y'all stay tuned. I'm trying to tell you, man, when it happens, yo, I have so many ideas, and I have so many plans. I shouldn't even be telling y'all this shit, but I'm excited, and I want to just tell someone. I have so many ideas, and I have so many plans to unify and unite black people in America and black people in Africa. You have no idea, and I can't wait. There's so much that we don't even know about each other that we need to, that I feel like is going to liberate and educate the minds of the black man and woman in America, and finally bring us to our senses, and finally bring us to our point in time to finally figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're finally going, if we can, we got to come together here first. Black men and black women have to come together here first. But if we can, and then finally bring take our talents back home, back to Africa. Yo, the dynamic for the black race on this planet will change. There has to we have to make a Wakanda everywhere on the phone. We have to make a Wakanda everywhere. And if we can get to that point where black people understand each other, no matter where you are, because there's black people all over the globe. There's black people in all four corners of the world. I can't wait till I'm able to just literally travel everywhere and prove this shit. I want to prove it to y'all. I'm going to prove it to y'all one day. Y'all going to remember me in this video saying this. I'm going to be like, yo, I'm here. Look at this black person. I'm going to be like, yo, I'm here. Look at this black person. Like, I'm here. Look at this black person. You know? I can't wait to do that, just to prove to the world that we are everywhere and we've been everywhere. Okay? Christopher Columbus was not the first mofo traveling the oceans and seas. And it's like, and here's the thing too. It's like, it's not even about who was first and who did what. It's about who did what when they did it. When Africans were traveling the world, we were trading, we were educating, we were informing, we were helping, we were giving back from what we had. Okay? When Europeans were traveling the world, y'all were fucking causing tragic. You were causing harm. You were murdering. You were raping. You were tricking. Okay? It wasn't the same. So it doesn't even matter who did what first. Y'all, what were you doing with it? You know what I'm saying? It's like, there were Native Americans in Louisiana. There were some European explorers once they got to Louisiana, but back then, you know. And they said the Native Americans that they came across in that area gifted them with arrows that had gold tips on it. Arrows that had gold tips, they gifted them with it. And long and behold, those gold-tipped arrows were arrows that were originated in Africa, that Africans had gifted the Native Americans with when they were traveling their long before those European travelers got there. I mean, that's besides the point, but I'm trying to give you the significance of where we come from, how we are, and why we are who we are. So, you know, I know everyone doesn't care. I know that. And I know everyone is not going to understand. I know everyone's not going to care to understand. I know everyone doesn't want the same things out of life. I understand that now, and I accept that. I do. But I also believe that there's a lot of people out there as well that do want the black race to elevate. That do want the black race to heal. That do want the black race to rehabilitate. That do want black men and black women to come back together and bring the black household back together and stronger than ever before. I do believe that there is people out there that feel that same exact way, and that's what keeps me going. That's what keeps keeps me optimistic. It keeps my hopes up, because just as many people that don't care, whether it goes left or right, I know there's that many and more that do care. I know that. And so many. It's like I know so many. There's so many people that don't truly understand, and that's okay. They don't truly understand the struggle of black people in America and the struggle that we have come from and still enduring. I know people aren't going to understand that because it's just literally never been exposed to them. It's never been taught to them. It's never been shown to them. A lot of people just grew up seeing what they see, and that's it. And I get that now. I didn't understand it before, but I get that now. I didn't understand it because I had parents informing me of this stuff early on. So I'm here thinking that everyone knew the same. And it's like how wrong I was. But it's like because my parents informed me on this so early, it's like now in this point in my life, everything makes so much sense. It's so much scary. And I'm trying so hard to maneuver out here and just do things the right way and stay out the way. But I'm realizing that as a black man, it doesn't matter where you are, and as a black woman, it doesn't matter where you are. You're always going to be an outcast. You're always going to be a stereotyped. You're always going to be perceived a certain way, no matter where you are and when you are, no matter how much money you got, no matter what car you're driving. I went through that even in the military. Even in your uniform, you're still being profiled. You're still being looked at a certain way in uniform. It's a nice Jeep. So we have to come back together. We have to rely on ourselves again. We have to depend on ourselves again. We have to unify again. We have to, because it's going to get to a point where once again we're going to have no choice but to, we're going to have no choice but to. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. You remember what happened at the Capitol in January 6th, 2001, I think it was? remember what happened when they all started rioting and storming the Capitol? If you don't remember, please go look it up. So you're telling me if something like that was to happen in the black community somewhere, you're telling me that black people wouldn't come together to protect themselves and protect their homes and their families and their businesses and their churches, etc.? So, because let me tell you, all these massacres and all these riots that took place within 100 years to 100 years ago with firearms. So it's like if that was happening 100 years ago and you've seen what just happened at the Capitol, you don't think that can happen whenever they feel like it or whenever they want to take their frustration and their anger out? And it's like, you already know, it's like they're going to be looking for any reason. Any reason. And please don't be misconstrued. Like, I'm not preaching hate. I'm not preaching war. I'm not preaching conflict. I'm not preaching conflict. I'm not preaching any of that. But I am informing my people on what can happen to their very existence whenever the opposition feels need. Just how you've been seeing what has happened in all the police shootings. Just because they can, they will, and they have all throughout history. And still, here we are. Now, to all my black women and my black sisters out there, my black queens, I'm not trying to compare y'all to black men, not whatsoever. But the amount of black men that have been killed by the cops compared to the black women that have been killed by the cops, it doesn't compare. The amount of young black boys that are being uneducated compared to the young black girls that are being uneducated, it doesn't even compare. The amount of young black boys in school compared to the young amount of black girls in school and graduating, it doesn't even compare. The numbers, what I'm saying. So because of that, it's like it's up. As black mothers, as single black mothers in America, it's your priority, and it's up to y'all to get your black sons into sports, get him around other black men that are doing things positive. I mean, Pookie and Ray Ray and your baby daddy and your boyfriend and whoever else that ain't doing nothing, that's just not gonna cut it no more at this point. Okay, because it's like, if they ain't doing nothing but sitting around playing video games and on their cell phone, what you think your son's gonna do when he grows up? Okay, if he's watching a grown-ass man do nothing but play video games, what do you think he's gonna do? So it's like you put him around men that are portraying and implementing more than just that. I'm not saying like okay, I'm not saying they can't play video games again. I'm not condemning video games, but it's like, at the same time, there has to be more than just that. I know brothers that literally sit around all day playing video games, all day, and be on the phone all day, and that's literally all they do. And will have 2 or 3 kids, so it's like there has to be more. So it's like, it's young single black mothers, it's your priority. Get him into some sports. Make him do something after school, like extracurricular, educational. But sports is a good, because this way he's around another man. Like, there's a man in his life, because you don't, and you want to keep all stages throughout his life. You want to keep him structured and involved and constantly busy and constantly occupied with positive, constructive, activities, always. And you have to be very, very careful what you're allowing him to watch on his phone and who the hell he's talking to on his phone. Look, and I know this shit is hard today. I know it's hard to keep up. It's because there's so many different, access, like there's so many different things. And then even if you do take phones away, or you do, it's like he can go right to school and you know, be with his friend's phone and see it on. So it's like, I know this shit is hard. I know it. And I don't even know the best advice to give outside of keeping them constantly occupied and constantly busy. Like, idle time, think of it this way. Any type of idle time your son has is going to be the devil's time. It's going to be demon time. Simple. So if you can minimize his idle time, then things can become very progressive for him, put it that way. And the more and more you the less you see him on his phone, the better he's gonna be. Or any phone, any cell phone. And the less you see him getting electrical, digital entertainment, the better off he's gonna be. And try different things. Like you ain't getting this phone back until you read this book. You ain't getting this phone back. You know what I'm saying? Like, set up certain. It's like, I feel like young kids and young teenagers really shouldn't even have all that type of access to a cell phone anyway, especially inside the house. You know? You want to talk to your friends, talk to them at school, boy. And it's like, you know, like I said, you got to pay attention to who the heck they're talking to. These young boys, oh my gosh, man. These young black teenage boys are sending each other to the grave like that shit is a freaking movie. Like The Walking Dead. For real. As rapid as those zombies were getting slaughtered, it's like that's as rapid as young black boys are mowing each other down out here. Like it's a video game, for real. It's ridiculous, man, and it's so sad because it's like so many of these young black boys are coming from broken single parent homes, and are not receiving any type of guidance or structure or educational things in any way, and they're going out here, going into the real world clueless, and literally going to an early grave or to a jail cell. And they're young boys, they're not even men yet. So many black men in America turned men in jail. So many black men in America became a man while they were incarcerated. It's almost up to the black women in America to save the black race. It's up to y'all at this point. You're gonna get the help and support from the black men that you know, you can count them on your hand. I know, and I'm sorry about that. I wish things were different. I wish things could be different. I wish we had a better upbringing. I wish we had a better structured, guided, loving, nurturing upbringing that would have prepared us to be better men in this present day. I'm sorry that things are not the way it is. And the way it should be. But there are black men out here that are trying. There are black men out here that are battling some serious mental health issues. And I'm not looking to justify or make excuses for no one. But there is a certain level of empathy that everyone walking this earth should have towards black men, for the simple fact of what they had to black men and black women, but I'm speaking black men right quick because of the how deprived black boys, black teenagers, and black men are their whole lives of so much, and then they are expected of so much at early ages, and no one puts that into consideration, or puts that in, takes consideration to put that in, and understands that and it's like, I have to talk to the black mothers, the young black mother. I have to talk to y'all about, because y'all are the one raising us. Y'all are the ones raising the young boys. And you can't raise him in a way that's going to have him inherit and pick up your female traits, because it's not going to do him no good once he's older, in the real world, in relationships, on a job, anything. You can't just spoil him and give him whatever he wants to keep him quiet and keep him cool and keep him chill, and for him to not bother you. You can't do that, because you're gonna create something you're not gonna be able to handle in a couple years, and the only thing that's gonna handle him is the streets and the law, and you and me both know how that turns out for our young black boys. You got to implement structure and discipline in him early on. You got to get him around other men that are disciplined and structured. Even if it's a church, you know what I'm saying? Go to the church. Ain't nobody judging you. Ain't nobody worried about what the hell you doing outside in your real life. Everyone sees you with that baby and sees you with that child, so just go. No one really cares about the future of young black boys outside of sports and outside of music. But it's up to the black women, the black queens in our families to look back and look at what has happened and what's going on, how y'all are perceived and how y'all are used and how y'all are viewed. I want y'all to look at how they are using y'all. They're using y'all to divide us even more. I want y'all to be aware of how they're using y'all to keep the division between black men and black women even more, and to keep us at odds even more. How they're using y'all, subliminally using y'all. And all the commercials now, you see, in almost all the commercials now, you see a white man with a black woman. It's like they're trying so hard to force that narrative, that image, and completely erasing the black man out of the picture and out of the minds. That's what is in the mind. If they can brainwash you and get it out your mind first, then the physical has no choice but to follow. And ladies, whether you care to find the right man leadership and the right man to be in your young son's life, hopping around from guy to guy is not going to help. Okay? Hopping around and going from dude to dude is not going to help the situation and help the cause. You have no idea how many guys I know who was actually affected by that shit because their mom was doing that shit. You know, like, you have no idea how much that really I feel like now I see how and why it affected them at the time when you were young. Of course, you didn't see it, but now it's like looking back, you like, damn, like, you see why that. And this is usually why I typically don't date women with kids, especially, you know, with sons, because it's like, you know, it's like he already views you and looks at you a certain way because you're not his dad. So if he's constantly experiencing that feeling with different guy, if he's constantly experiencing that feeling, it's like that's going to make him very, very bitter when he's older towards not only you but towards women. And he's going to view women a certain way because of you. He's going to think women are like you. And I hate to say this like this, but this is why so many black men end up with white women or end up dating outside of their race, because they don't want to experience and deal with how they came up with the women in their family, specifically their mothers. And like I said, I'm not trying to condemn or talk badly about anyone or attack anyone, but mothers, y'all make the world go round, and y'all are truly appreciated and loved and honored and put on a pedestal in almost every family that I know. But there's also a lot of abusive mothers out there, neglectful mothers, and like I said, mothers that are just reckless with how they decide to manage the men in their life. Very, very reckless, and that can be very, very detrimental to your son, because he's watching all this and he's seeing all this. If you have a young daughter, forget about it. She's going to be just like you, but 2 times worse. But talking about the sons, and the reason why I'm emphasizing the young black mothers with sons is because it's like if black men is the problem, and black men have so many problems, and black men are in the condition that they're in today, what role did you play when you were raising us? When you were raising them? What role did you play? Because they didn't get there. First of all, they didn't get here. They didn't ask to be here. That's first of all, number one. Number two, what role did you play in their upbringing and in their lives that contributed to their actions and their behaviors and their patterns this day in life? Why are you bailing him out of jail? Why are you putting him in the ground? Why are you burying him? Why are you getting calls from the precinct? Why are you know what I'm saying? What role did you play or did not play that got you to this point? Why is he putting his hands on you? Why is he stealing from you? Why is he, you know what I'm saying? Why doesn't he respect you? What was not implemented early on, and what did he get exposed to, and what did he see? Man, it's up to y'all, man. Dang, the more I think about it, it's like, yo, it's really up to y'all. It is really up to y'all at this point, because everyone wants y'all. Everyone is coming for y'all. Everyone is looking at y'all. Black women have the presence and the ability to change the energy in a whole freaking room. Are you kidding me, man? Like, if a beautiful black woman with a beautiful body walks into a room somewhere, everyone is going to be looking at that ass. And I'm sorry to say it like that, but it's like that's just the like the influence and the presence y'all hold and have. And no other race of woman can do that, in my opinion. And in my opinion. And I'm not trying to compare no one to no one. And all women are beautiful in all races, don't get me wrong. But my beautiful black queens, y'all have the influence and y'all have the ability to change the whole dynamic no matter where you are. And this is exactly why you get hated on. This is exactly why you get harassed and constantly hit on and constantly approached and constantly, everything. Because it's like, it's y'all, man. It's y'all. Y'all are the diamonds. Y'all we're the prize, but y'all are the y'all the gift wrap. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are the wrapping paper. Y'all's what make this shit look good. Y'all's what make this shit go. Y'all make everything better. Put it like that. I'm out. I appreciate y'all tuning in and having the support that y'all have for me and the love that y'all have for me. And I love y'all. And I appreciate y'all. We're going to keep trying to progress and get better out here. And everyone continue to be safe and healthy and just stay out the damn way, man. Stay out the way. Stay with your family. Be with your family. Make good decisions. And leave it at that. And just try to show as much love as you can. All right. Peace.